Hello and welcome. If you're working in school administration, especially managing K-12 admissions, you know it's a unique challenge, isn't it?
It really is.
You're trying to create this really smooth, welcoming experience for every single family applying. But behind the scenes, you're often juggling just mountains of information, trying to keep everything efficient for your own team.
Absolutely. It's this critical first step in the relationship with the school, but the internal mechanics can be incredibly demanding. Making it work smoothly for everyone is tough.
Right. So today we're doing a deep dive specifically into how dedicated school management software can, really change that whole process for the better.
We want to look at the specific features, the capabilities that actually streamline K-12 admissions and enrollment.
Exactly. And we'll be looking at how a solution like DreamClass addresses these kinds of needs directly.
The goal really is to pull out those key insights that can help you optimize this crucial function at your school.
Okay, so let's start with the core challenge. It feels like it's two-sided, doesn't it?
It definitely is. On one hand, you need to create an application experience for parents, for guardians, for the students themselves that feels, intuitive, simple.
Not like a bureaucratic maze. You want it to be welcoming.
Precisely. That first impression counts for so much. But then flip the coin, and for your own staff, you need the management side, the tracking, the follow-ups, the data to be way more efficient.
Reducing that sheer amount of manual work seems paramount.
It is. And the thinking here is that bringing in robust school management software is really presented as the most effective way to simplify and streamline that whole complex journey from the very first inquiry right through to getting that enrollment confirmed.
Okay. So when we talk about software built for K-12 admissions, what are the sort of foundational features we should typically expect? What are the building blocks?
Well, it's interesting because these often mirror what you'd find in dedicated standalone admissions software, but integrated into the broader school system. First up usually is forms management.
Okay, so building the actual application forms.
Right. Think of it like a digital toolkit. You can create your custom forms, maybe use templates, so you're not starting from zero each time.
So you can tailor them. Like a kindergarten form might need different info than a high school transfer form.
Exactly. That flexibility is really fundamental. Then, naturally, comes application management itself.
The system for handling all the submissions.
Yeah, the engine that lets you track and manage all those incoming applications efficiently. See who's applied, what stage they're at, all, in one central place.
And hopefully families aren't just shouting into the void. That brings us to the idea of a self-service portal, right?
Giving applicants some autonomy, a dedicated online space where they can maybe log in, check the status of their application, perhaps upload documents later if needed.
That makes sense. It empowers them and probably cuts down on phone calls asking where we at.
It can, yes. It provides transparency. And closely linked to tracking applications is candidate and communication management.
Managing the people and the contact.
Exactly. Tools specifically for tracking those prospective students and, crucially, keeping up timely and relevant communication with their families throughout the process.
Keeping those lines open feels vital, especially when it can sometimes take a while. Keeps them engaged.
It does. And the final piece often mentioned is registration fees management.
Handling the money side.
Right. The ability to collect any necessary application or tuition fees securely and efficiently, often integrated right into that enrollment workflow.
Okay, so those seem like the core pillars. Now, let's get more specific. Based on what we know, how does DreamClass actually help with some of these key areas, maybe tackling some common headaches schools run into?
Let's do that. A big one, as you know, is just collecting all the required supporting documents, birth certificates, residency proof, health records, past transcripts.
Oh yeah. Chasing those down can feel like a full-time job sometimes. How does DreamClass approach that?
The aim seems to be simplifying it, especially for the parents and guardians. The key method described is letting them upload those documents directly through the application form itself.
So integrated right into the form they're filling out.
That's the idea. The forms are designed to be quick for the school to set up and, importantly, user-friendly for the applicant. The goal is to make collecting those necessary documents feel less like a chore and more like a seamless part of the application.
So instead of submitting the form and then getting a checklist of things to mail or drop off, they could potentially do it all digitally in one go.
Potentially, yes. It helps centralize that collection right from the start, which must save a huge amount of administrative follow-up time.
Definitely sounds like it. Okay, here's another layer of complexity many schools face. Managing different admission timelines. Maybe you have early admissions, regular admissions, rolling for some grades. Can DreamClass handle multiple K-12 admission cycles running concurrently?
That's a really important question because you're right, admissions are rarely just one single event per year. Manually juggling different timelines and applicant pools is, oh, it's a nightmare. And the information suggests, yes, DreamClass is built to let schools manage multiple distinct admission cycles at the same time. The examples given point to this, like you might collect basic demographic info in one form early on, then maybe later use a different form to gather specific grade intentions or program choices. It seems to support that kind of phased or multi-track approach.
That kind of sophistication sounds like a big operational plus. What about things beyond the standard school year, like, say, summer school enrollment, or students who might be part-time versus full-time?
It seems those are covered too. The information specifically mentions handling additional academic programs, summer school is the example used, and also accommodating both part-time and full-time attendance options within the admissions flow itself.
So it's designed for the variety of scenarios a K-12 school actually deals with.
That appears to be the intention, yes. Handling that real-world complexity.
Okay, so we've got the application form, we can get the documents uploaded, we can manage multiple cycles and different programs. But what about confirming a family's actual commitment? Getting an application is great, but knowing they really intend to enroll is the next step. How does DreamClass help validate that intention?
That's a crucial point. It seems the approach involved structuring the process into clear steps. DreamClass lets you map different admission forms to specific goals within those steps.
Okay, so forms aren't just for collecting data, they serve a purpose in the workflow.
Exactly. And a really powerful example given is the ability to embed a payment link directly inside a form.
Ah, so asking for a deposit or registration fee right there.
Precisely. It's not just about collecting the money, though, that's efficient too. It acts as a concrete signal, a way to validate that family's intention to enroll. Making that payment becomes an active step of commitment.
That makes a lot of sense. It helps filter who's serious and probably streamlines the school's final decision-making and planning. What about communication speed? Once that application hits your system, getting back to the family quickly seems so important.
Absolutely vital. You don't want families feeling like their application vanished. The system is described as enabling immediate communication back to parents or guardians as soon as that K-12 application is received.
Automatically.
Yes. Provided the contact info is captured in the form, it can trigger an automated acknowledgement or next steps message. This prompt engagement, as highlighted, really helps build that relationship from day one. It makes applicants feel seen and welcomed.
Which is exactly the feeling you want to create. Now, here's something that can sometimes be a barrier, especially for new families, the requirement to create yet another online account just to start applying. Does DreamClass force parents or guardians to create an account up front?
That's actually pointed out as a key difference. The information indicates that, no, DreamClass does not require parents or guardians to create an account before they can begin the K-12 admissions process.
Really? How does that work?
You can apparently set up public admission forms specifically designed for new prospective students that don't need any login.
Okay.
Now, you can also have private forms, maybe for re-enrolling your existing students, and those might leverage existing parent accounts. But for attracting new families, that initial hurdle of account creation isn't there.
That feels like a significant advantage for accessibility.
Yeah.
Removes a potential friction point right at the very beginning.
It seems designed that way.
Yeah.
And it apparently still tracks course preferences and other data effectively, even without that initial account for new applicants.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've talked about easier document uploads, managing complex cycles, validating intent with payments, immediate communication, no mandatory upfront accounts. How do these specific features translate into real-world benefits for you, the administrator listening, and for the families you're trying to serve?
Well, looking at it from the school's operational side, it's really about standardizing the whole process, centralizing the information, and just making it significantly more efficient.
Less paper, less chasing things down.
Exactly. Less manual data entry, fewer physical documents floating around, much better organization of who's applied and where they stand. And importantly, the ability to actually manage the complexities like those multiple cycles or different program types without getting overwhelmed.
And for the families, what's in it for them?
For them, it should mean a simpler, hopefully less stressful first experience with your school. Easy online forms they can fill out maybe on their phone, straightforward document uploads, maybe a portal for updates, timely communication so they know what's happening.
And not having to create that account just to get started.
Right. It just makes the whole interaction feel more modern, more convenient, more user-friendly. It can potentially speed things up for everyone and ensures things like fee payments are handled smoothly and securely.
So it's really about transforming what can sometimes be a clunky, frustrating process.
Into one that feels organized, efficient, and fundamentally welcoming. It sets a much more positive tone for that family's entire journey with the school community.
Okay, so if we boil down this deep dive, dedicated school management software, like DreamClass, based on what we've discussed, aims to seriously streamline K-12 admissions. It's not just about putting forms online.
Right. It's about providing specific tools for managing those forms, tracking applications, automating communication, handling fees, and tackling those real-world complexities.
We saw examples like making document uploads easy for parents, giving schools the flexibility to run multiple admission cycles at once, using things like payment links to confirm intent.
And that key point about not forcing parents to create an account, just to apply initially.
Exactly. So here's a thought to leave you with. If implementing a system that does all this does free up significant admin time your team currently spends on manual tasks, chasing paper, untangling complicated processes.
And at the same time, it makes that crucial first interaction with your school smoother and more positive for families. What does that actually unlock? What does that newfound efficiency allow your school to do?
Yeah, think about that. Does it mean your administrative team can focus more energy on, say, supporting student success after they enroll?
Or perhaps building that school community right from day one instead of being purely focused on the mechanics of getting students through the door.
It really prompts you to think about how streamlining operations like admissions can free up resources to better serve the school's core educational mission.
And it seems the suggestion is that seeing how this works in practice is the best way to grasp the potential, experiencing it firsthand.
Right? The idea of maybe quickly building a sample application form or running a simulated admission cycle within the system.
That kind of hands-on feel can really highlight the efficiency gains and the potential impact on how families perceive the process.
And the suggested pathway to do that, to really explore if this fits your school's needs, is to book a free demo. It's presented as a direct way to see how a solution like DreamClass could help simplify your K-12 enrollment, engage families more effectively from that very first touch point, and ultimately boost your school's overall operational effectiveness.